Imagine a world where the concept of money doesn't exist. No dollar bills, no coins, no credit cards, just raw goods and services. You want to buy bread? Better have some eggs to trade. This was life thousands of years ago, before money became the central pillar of our economy. The history of money is a fascinating journey from simple bartering to the complex financial systems we have today. It's a tale of human ingenuity, trust, and the constant quest for value. So, sit back and relax as we dive into the story of how money came to be. In the earliest days of civilization, the barter system was the backbone of trade. People would exchange goods directly. One farmer might trade a sack of grain for a pair of sandals made by a shoemaker. This system worked well enough, but it had a major flaw. What if the shoemaker didn't need grain? What if he wanted a cow or a sheep instead? This need for a common ground in trade led to the creation of something new, something everyone would accept in exchange for their goods. This was the seed that would eventually grow into the concept of money. The next major step in the evolution of money was the development of commodity currencies. These were objects that had some self-evident value, things like cattle, grain, or even seashells. In ancient Mesopotamia, around 3000 BCE, barley was used as a form of currency. It was valuable because it was both a staple food and a unit of measurement. But as societies grew more complex, so too did their needs. The use of metal objects as money began to take shape. Metals like gold, silver, and copper were durable, divisible, and had intrinsic value, making them ideal for trade. In ancient Egypt, gold rings were used as a form of currency. Meanwhile, in China, the use of cowrie shells as money became so widespread that they were eventually replicated in bronze, creating one of the earliest forms of metal coinage. These early currencies laid the groundwork for a more standardized and universally accepted form of money. Around 600 BCE, the first true coins appeared in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, located in what is now Turkey. These coins were made from a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver called electrum. What made these coins revolutionary was the fact that they were stamped with a design, guaranteeing their weight and value. This stamp of authenticity meant that people no longer had to weigh and test the metal every time they made a transaction. The Lydian coins quickly spread throughout the Mediterranean, influencing other cultures and leading to the widespread use of coinage. Coins became the dominant form of money in ancient Greece and Rome, where they were minted in various denominations and used for everything from paying soldiers to building temples. The use of coins brought about a new level of economic stability and allowed for the expansion of trade networks across vast distances. As trade expanded and economies grew, carrying large amounts of coins became impractical. The Chinese were the first to solve this problem with the invention of paper money during the Tang dynasty in the 7th century CE. Initially, these were promissory notes issued by merchants. But by the Song dynasty in the 11th century, the government had taken over the issuance of paper money. Paper money was revolutionary because it was easier to carry and could represent larger sums of value than metal coins. However, it also required a new level of trust. People had to believe that the paper was worth something, even though it had no intrinsic value. This was the beginning of the concept of fiat money, where the value of money is not based on physical commodities but on trust in the issuing authority. The concept of paper money eventually spread to the Middle East and Europe. In the 13th century, the explorer Marco Polo brought tales of Chinese paper money back to Europe, sparking interest in this new form of currency. However, it wasn't until the 17th century that paper money became widely used in Europe, with Sweden being one of the first countries to issue banknotes. With the widespread use of paper money came the need for institutions to manage it. This led to the rise of modern banking. The first banks were established in Renaissance Italy, with the Medici family being one of the most famous banking dynasties. These early banks issued promissory notes, which could be exchanged for coins and facilitated loans and other financial transactions. The development of central banks was another significant milestone in the history of money. The Bank of England, established in 1694, was one of the first central banks and played a crucial role in stabilizing the economy by controlling the issuance of currency and managing the national debt. As global trade expanded, there was a need for a standardized system of currency exchange. This led to the adoption of the gold standard in the 19th century, where the value of a country's currency was directly linked to a specific amount of gold. The gold standard provided stability and confidence in international trade, as everyone knew that currencies could be exchanged for a fixed amount of gold. However, the gold standard also had its limitations. It restricted the ability of governments to manage their economies, particularly during times of crisis. The pressures of World War I led many countries to abandon the gold standard, and although it was briefly reinstated, the economic challenges of the Great Depression ultimately led to its demise. By the mid-20th century, most countries had moved to a system of fiat money, where the value of currency is not tied to any physical commodity, but is instead based on trust in the government. In the modern era, money has continued to evolve. The advent of the internet has given rise to digital currencies and electronic payment systems. Credit cards, online banking, and mobile payment apps have made money more accessible and transactions faster than ever before. The latest development in the history of money is the rise of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency, was created in 2009 and introduced the concept of blockchain technology, a secure and transparent way to record transactions. Cryptocurrencies are not controlled by any central authority, which makes them both revolutionary and controversial. While some see them as the future of money, others are skeptical of their stability and widespread adoption. The history of money is a story of constant innovation and adaptation. From barter to coins, from paper money to digital currencies, each development has brought us closer to a more efficient and connected global economy. But the story doesn't end here. As technology continues to advance, we may see even more changes in how we define and use money. Perhaps in the future, we'll look back at today's financial systems as just another step in the ever-evolving history of money.